Well, I don't think it's a shock that Rudy Giuliani is being sued for sexual assault and harassment to the tune of $10 million. But some of the details are a little bit grisly. One, uh, it's alleged that he asked the victim to provide oral sex while Giuliani was on the phone with then President Donald Trump. Um, that he asked her when they were working conferencing over Zoom to be naked over Zoom, insisted on it, in fact. And there was a lot of other things, plus the fact that she has not only recordings, but tons and tons of emails just proving what she was forced to be involved in under the guise of losing her job if she did not perform these acts. So we're going to see how that plays out in terms of the sexual assault case. Here's the clincher. Here's the big clincher. She has evidence, emails, recorded conversations that Giuliani and President Donald Trump were collaborating on selling presidential pardons for the tune of $2 million each. That is right, selling presidential pardons. Now, how low can they go? It's pretty low. It's pretty low. Although I have to say, Giuliani is of Italian descent. I'm assuming that he grew up Catholic or he knew about being Catholic, and the Catholics have been selling God's pardons for eons, right? You go there, you give a little cash to the and then your sins are forgiven. This marriage, I can annul your 13-year marriage, sir. The one that had 8 kids involved, because you gave me a little payola, Giuliani, Trump, payola. This is the kind of thing that we expect out of these lowlifes, out of these bottom of the swampers. Is it illegal? We're going to find out. Okay. Not in this segment, but soon. Here's the thing that I want to talk about, though. All over the internets, people are shouting from the rooftops that the GOP has been silent on this issue. And I think we need to stop doing that. First of all, the elected, quote unquote, elected, gerrymander elected officials in the GOP are basically just frontmen for corporations. They are not going to stand up for their own people. They stand up for whoever's going to do the bidding of the corporations in this country, or the lobbies, the gun lobby, which is basically a lobby for, arms corporations. So my first point stands. The GOP is, if the only one who may stand up is like a Mitt Romney. And then he's not going to lose his seat if he stands up against something like this, because he's just in there what it seems like forever. He's got a pretty stable seat, so he can say things that are what one might consider sane. But he doesn't reflect the ideas of the whole party. Plus, who's going to stand up against this? The guy who is the Republican who is accused of underage girl trafficking? Is that the one who's going to stand up? Or some of these other lowlifes? Is that the one who's going to stand up? I don't think so. There's no one in the GOP to stand up. We should stop asking and expecting the GOP to stand up. We should stop being, we don't have that much outrage to be squandered on how the GOP isn't standing up. We need to accept that they are the party of corporations. Any of these electeds on their side can easily become roadkill on the side of their agenda, which you see Giuliani is and has been. He's over. This is going to cost him some cash. But let's not expect the GOP to be outraged. We know already that they are low-life mouthpieces many of them are personally, morally abhorrent. And they're certainly politically abhorrent if they are upholding what the GOP has come to stand for these days. A party of intolerance, a party of corporate interest, the corporate interest that they are doing, the deregulation, the warmongering, all the things that they are known to do. I'm not talking about the Democrats right now. We can talk about that later. But they're not perfect either. But all the things that the GOP has been known to do, that's it. That's who they are. Let's just accept them, not expect them to act like human beings, and talk about the fight in the terms that we're actually having it. It's a few elected people on one side, the Democrats, who may or may not be beholden to corporate interest, depending on who they are and where they're coming from, who may be closer to purple or even light red than closer to deep blue, against the corporate machinery, the vicious right wing, religiously oppressive corporate oppression machinery coming from the right. I would like to just get my outrage about how they're poisoning my kids, destroying the environment, allowing bullets to be sprayed across innocent people because they're bought and sold. I think the time for looking for GOP moral authority, moral outrage for reasonable things is over. I'm Julianna Forlano. Put your comments below. Thanks for watching. And if you're new to wherever you're watching this, like the Political Voices, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, etc., etc.